I am George Au Jr. I was born in Santa Cruz, grew up in the Santa Cruz Chinatown, which is down by the river where the Riverfront Theater is and Mobo Sushi. I've lived here since January 3rd, 1943. If you look at history, maybe there would have been more Chinese here 100 years ago if there weren't the exclusionary laws, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. Maybe there would have been a few, and then a few more, and then a few more. But that was cut off by those laws, by the general feeling in the population here that led to those laws. And so the Chinese population was cut off, or very few families. Then what happens is you get the result of what the people wanted at the time and what the laws were for, to keep out the Chinese. And so the Chinese that lived there at the time, they had to live under these conditions. But they did, and they chose to, because things were worse in China. In China, you would have starved to death, or another Chinese person on the other side of the Civil War could have shot you and your family. And so as unfair as they were in America, it was a rational decision to stay here. Before World War II, if you weren't born here, you couldn't own property. They couldn't determine their own fate. It was owned by somebody else, the land. You were renters. And so leading up to the end of Chinatown, Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882 cuts off immigration pretty much. So everybody that was here, eventually they grow old. They die. They don't have kids because the women weren't here. So some did, but it was rare. And so you cut off the growth of the Chinese. They can't come in and they can't reproduce. Okay, so that takes care of the population. A few make enough money to go back. A few. Others leave Santa Cruz to go where everybody speaks their language, Chinatown, Oakland, San Francisco, Los Angeles. Others go to other neighborhoods because now it's opening up and you can go wherever you want. Now we could live anywhere. And why would you live in a dangerous area? And when I say dangerous, what I mean is it flooded about once every 10 years because it was right next to the river. But people had left Chinatown. They left for better opportunities, better jobs, better places to live. Chinese can live anywhere now if they have the money to rent or buy. They don't have to be in Chinatown anymore. There are Chinese living all over the community and not necessarily organized. The largest contingent of Chinese and Asians at UC Santa Cruz. And the student community is transient. They are not necessarily here to interact with the community outside. The story of my family coming to America and surviving and having children, we appreciate what we have here in Santa Cruz and in California and America. We have learned a lot from the experiences of our parents' generation and grandparents' generation. And that's why you should know your story, because you will learn things that will give you energy and inspiration and be able to navigate your lives easier with the knowledge of it. You will get in touch with the spirits of your ancestors and they will help you.